This bird is only found on this island in the Bahamian chain. It used to be found on Abaco as well, but it was extirpated from that island in the 1980s and early 1990s, and now it's only found on Andros. What a spectacular bird, and it's absolutely vital that we spend a lot of research and time and effort in preserving this iconic species of the Bahamas. Some of the threats facing this bird include hurricanes that can come through and devastate the area. Feral cats are possibly a huge problem, as is the destruction of these incredible pine forests. But it's also believed that there may be another cause that's human-induced, and that is the introduction of lethal yellowing disease to the coconut palms. And it's quite possible that these birds have come to depend on the coconut palms for nesting material. Either way, we have to look at all the different threats facing this bird and mitigate these threats for the future survival of this iconic Bahamian species.
Owenstown is one of the most amazing spots that you could find, not just the Bahama oriole, but you could find a variety of different species, including the great lizard cuckoo. And what we've been doing with observing the birds in this area is we're trying to get as much information about the distribution of this species, especially in north central Andros, so that we could get a better idea of what's the population really like in the Bahamas. This bird is absolutely amazing, critically endangered as was mentioned, and so we got to do everything that we can to help to conserve one of the most iconic birds in the Bahamas. When you have a variety of different types of habitats, such as Owenstown, you have coppice, you have open like grasslands, you have pine woodlands, you have a perfect mosaic of habitats for this bird. And so the more diversity, the better for bird species.
As well as the human-induced threats to the species, of course there's hurricanes, which are natural disasters that can decimate an island like this. But there's a more sinister threat that comes from another tiny bird called the shiny cowbird. And this bird has made a natural progression through the Caribbean islands up into the southern Bahamas, and now it's reached Andros. And of course, being a brood parasite, this is huge, huge problems for a bird like the Bahama oriole. The endemism of Bahamian birds lies in their genetics, because it's quite possible that more island birds from this fantastic island chain will in turn, in future, become their own separate species. Well, there's few birds as beautiful as the Bahama oriole. What a spectacular species. That's our golden bird for this episode. Thanks for watching our series on the Bahamas, and I'd like to encourage you all, come to this fantastic island. Not only does it have some incredible once-in-a-lifetime endemic bird species, but it's also just so vibrant in culture, and the food is to die for. I mean, who doesn't like conch salad? Come to the Bahamas and get the endemic Bahamian birds. Thanks so much, you guys.
No problem.
What a great time we spent with you guys. And they've got some excellent guides to take you around. We'll see you next week.
Was a ship, Bowman Sea was the captain, Lucky was the mate, he was always late. Hartman round the port, once he knocked him out, oh Lord, she shout, Bowman Sea throw out. Andros Island is big and long, whatever goes there, will make you strong. The cats and the dogs, and even bullfrogs, eating crab and calling the daddy. Yes, man. Let him listen. Oh, come on now. Let man. Woo!
watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, Coral Vita, one of the stops for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge when they arrive on Saturday. Doctors Hospital making inroads in establishing a flagship inpatient facility in Freeport. And the chaplain of Bahamas Department of Correctional Services meeting with pastors on Grand Bahama. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news, the Bahamas will be in the international spotlight for the next few days as the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge arrived in the nation's capital this afternoon. The royal couple will visit Abaco and Grand Bahama on Saturday, and as you can imagine, preparations are now in high gear. Tonight, Sabrina Brown tells us how one establishment is preparing to welcome the royal couple.
Vita works to restore dying and damaged reefs, a part of a global effort to protect coral reefs around the world. Co-founder Sam Teicher says they are honored that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge will visit the coral farm to get an up-close look at the operation.
We won the Earthshot Prize last year, which was created by Prince William to spur innovation for protecting the planet all around the world, and it's also an honor that the Bahamas is recognized for these efforts. And so we've been spending quite some time getting ready for them.
Teicher gave us a sneak peek into what the royal couple will do when they arrive at Coral Vita.
We will be taking them through the coral farm here. They'll be able to meet some of our partners and supporters here in the Bahamas that have helped us get to this point. And then we're going to walk them through why we exist, the threats that coral reefs face and their importance for protecting them, and actually take them through the farm here so they can see us using these methods developed by our original advisors to grow corals up to 50 times faster, so months instead of decades, to strengthen their resilience against threats like climate change, to see the wave energy tank and put their hands in the touch tank to hold sea stars and conch and see and experience all the life that the coral reefs allow to thrive. And then hopefully we'll be able to do some fun stuff actually out on the coral reef with them.
Preparation for the royal visit is now in high gear at Coral Vita, and they're leaving nothing to chance.
We've been doing a lot of landscaping. We've got new educational signs that are going to be arriving today that we'll be installing all around the farm, having all the coral tanks prepped and the boats ready, and the staff are incredibly excited. So we've all been going over the things that we're going to share with them, right? This is a team effort here at Coral Vita, and so having everyone be able to really know, here's what we want to share with the Duke and Duchess, and getting everyone ready, and then working with the government here to ensure that the visit goes as great as it possibly can.
Aquaculture tech Oscar Riley is playing a vital role in making sure that the facility is ready for Saturday's visit.
We've been up in production of fragging, make sure they're nice, and they have a lot of different species they can view, as well as cleaning out the system so they have a view of what a proper system looks like when it's up and running and operational, as well as just getting the grounds nice and clean and neat.
Coral Vita only recently recovered after being destroyed by a 17-foot storm surge during Hurricane Dorian in 2019. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Sabrina. Well, the Duke and Duchess will depart the nation's capital for Abaco on Saturday, where they will visit the Memorial Garden and the former site of Friendship Tabernacle in Dundas Town, which is now the home to the Daystar Church. Senior Pastor Silbert Mills also served as the pastor of Friendship Tabernacle at the Dundas Town location before it was destroyed by Hurricane Dorian. He says it is an honor to host the Duke and Duchess. He believes they will find that Abaconians are among some of the most resilient people in the world. Pastor Mills says he is most intrigued that they have decided to visit the church, which represents the spirituality of the community.
Which represents the spirituality of the community. You know, they could have gone anywhere else, but to decide that we want to at least stop at a church speaks volume that they recognize the spiritual nature of this community, and our bond with a God who looked after us and watched over us during the storm. And so that takes my appreciation to a different level, because they did not have to take the 20 minutes to stop at a church. They could have been somewhere else.
Pastor Mills says the Dundastown location has deep history.
It was the second church in the Dundastown community there from 1947. And so we got it under the British government. And so I think it's very, very fitting that they would come and visit us. They were very intrigued by the story of the British governor who decided to relocate my grandparents from Old Place and Cornish Town because of the storm of 1932 and relocate them to this new community called Dundastown, named after that British governor who used his wisdom to relocate the people in hopes that they would now have a better life and be able to endure storms because of where we were.
Well, in other news, Doctors Hospital making inroads in establishing a flagship inpatient facility on Grand Bahama. The 30-bed hospital is expected to be the leading medical facility in the Bahamas and a referral source for complex cases in the Caribbean. Chief Financial Officer Dennis DeVoe.
You have an acute cardiovascular episode, or you require an acute neurological intervention, something that's life-saving. We will not fly folks out of Grand Bahama to receive that care. We intend to fly folks into Grand Bahama to receive the most advanced medical care that will be available in the Bahamas. We intend to anchor our relationship, our strategic partnership with the Cleveland Clinic on the island of Grand Bahama. And we continue to remain open around how we broaden access and delivery of care, certainly with Grand Bahama as a beachhead to Abaco and certainly to Bimini.
Now, Doctors Hospital has acquired the first commercial center on the Mall Drive in Freeport, and DeVoe says a world-class design is just about complete. The former home of the First Caribbean Bank will be transformed into a state-of-the-art medical facility.
You know, on the first floor, you know, as you walk in, essentially heading west toward the mall, you know, to the right is our state-of-the-art diagnostic imaging center. We intend to have every single modality of diagnostic imaging on the island, and that it's the technology level up, frankly, from what exists in any comparable facility, even in Nassau, that we have outpatient dialysis. We know, despite their best efforts, that the kidney center is just overwhelmed with the care, unfortunately, of patients that are in some form of end-stage renal disease, and that we then intend to stand up certainly the largest urgent care facility in Grand Bahama, and even bigger than the one that exists here in Nassau. And so floor by floor, urgent care, emergency services with up to 10 critical bays, support to accommodate some of the unique particularities with pediatric emergencies. Those are very different than what happens with adults. My wife's a pediatrician, and she always reminds me that there are huge differences between little people and big people, but that around ER, we have all of the critical diagnostics, imaging, laboratory, pharmacy.
Now, Doctors Hospital recently commissioned a facility in the 8 Mile Rock community. Heading now into news from the crime beat, police say more firearms were taken off the streets of Grand Bahama this week around 3 p.m. yesterday. Officers of the Mobile Division, acting on information, went to the area of Call Road near a shopping center, where they discovered near the northern end of that plaza a black .9mm pistol that contained 6 rounds of ammunition. No arrest was made, and investigations are continuing. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more when we come back.
Come on down. Come on down now.
Gammon is a modern alternative bistro when it comes to healthy cuisine. We focus a lot on natural, clean. We're about 90% vegetarian, vegan. We have a wide vast of food fusion. I mean, we have Asian noodle stir fries, salmon tacos, cauliflower tacos, all natural, fresh smoothies. Smoothies consisting of fresh greens, kale, cucumber, spinach, berries. We do have a wide scale of teas and coffees, cappuccinos, macchiatos, lattes, world famous French toast, avocado toast, huevos rancheros, wild fish, stewed fish when we get fresh fish. The Green Gamut, we're located in Port Lucayo. Easy way to contact us, 602-7502. Hours of operation, Tuesday through Friday, 8:30 to 6:30, 9 to 6:30 on Saturday, Sunday 9 to 4.
Gabby's Grab and Go Nassau is expanding services to Grand Bahama and the Family Islands. Wholesale groceries from Sam's, BJ's, and Walmart. You make the list and they'll do the rest. For the best prices ever is Gabby's Grab and Go. Call 467-5950.
The West Grand Bahama District Council invites you to their Hurricane Disaster Preparedness Volunteer Meeting this Sunday, March 27th at 4 p.m. at the 8 Mile Rock High School Gymnasium. The guest speaker will be the Honorable Obadiah Wilchcomb.
Welcome to Port in a Minute, an informative segment brought to you by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, where we update you on the latest news taking place within the port group of companies and our community.
The catastrophic effects of Hurricane Dorian have showed us the impact that climate change has on our island and how important it is to protect our water supply. We can all practice simple things to avoid wasting water, like turning off the faucets while brushing your teeth, running your washer only when it's full, upgrading your toilets, or shampooing your hair while you're in the shower. Sadly, we found out that there are persons who are tampering with our wells and stealing water. This too is a very serious concern because it can possibly increase the salt levels in our water that we've worked so hard to get rid of to restore potability. Water conservation is very important. We cannot live without water, and so we must do our best to save it for ourselves and generations to come.
That was Port in a Minute, brought to you by the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
Be sure to tune in next time for more updates.
We want to get right to Hurricane Dorian, Category 5 storm hitting the Bahamas, heading for the southeast.
Hurricanes are so unpredictable. After Dorian, we have learned a lot. Enough to know what we need to do to be prepared before, during, and after the storm. Calling all residents of West Grand Bahama. The West Grand Bahama District Disaster Committee will be hosting a volunteer drive on Sunday, March 27th at 4 p.m. at the 8 Mile Rock High School Gym. See you there. Let's be our brother's keeper.
One of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes in recorded history.
Bad little lady, you should be driving me crazy. When she licking her lips and moving them hips like coming, baby. I wanna take it down now.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Well, the chaplain of the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services leading a delegation of pastors and stakeholders in a 2-day visit to Grand Bahama. The group is expected to meet with local pastors in a town meeting tonight at the First Baptist Church to address issues related to the rehabilitation of offenders. Corrections Chaplain Reverend Dr. William Thompson says the church and community must get on board and help to turn the situation around.
We recognize that the government and the Bahamas Department of Correctional Service cannot act alone. As such, we are saying to all religious and community builders, leaders, and corporate Bahamas to partner with us. So together we can, and together we will, change the lives of the residents for a safer Bahamas.
Reverend Keith Rose says they hope to take this outreach throughout the country. He is inviting pastors of various denominations to attend tonight's meeting and to help make a difference in society.
There are a lot of inmates that come from Freeport. We want to reach out to the churches here so that they can assist us to assist the chaplaincy department so that they can be a lighter burden on the government. The government cannot do everything. We are the citizen of the Bahamas willing to reach out and assist this problem so that these inmates may not be coming back and forth, to provide them spiritual counseling, mental counseling, psychological counseling, and also finance. So that's my mission as being the chairperson, to reach out to the churches here locally.
Now, tomorrow night, a meeting will be held at Kingdom Worship Center on East Atlantic Drive at 6:30 p.m. In other news, a series of workshops has begun for SECME teachers. President of the Northern Bahamas SECME organization says due to the pandemic, they were unable to host the competitions with the schools, prompting them to have workshops for the teachers.
The workshop is for teachers who are part of the Northern Bahamas SECME organization. We train students to do certain things in SECME, which is a branch of STEM, and they include water bottle rocket, mousetrap, dam math, bridge building. There's also an essay competition and robotics.
Now, SECME leader from 8 Mile Rock High School, Yella Pragata, says they are presenting bottle rockets, designs, and construction, which has 3 parts.
We're going to discuss about the guidelines issued by the National Office from Georgia Tech and Kettering University, and followed by we're going to discuss about how to design a bottle rocket by applying all the principles from aerodynamics as well as the Newton's laws and Bernoulli's principle, etc. And after that part, we're going to spend some time to construct actually a bottle rocket as per the guidelines.
Now, the final workshop, Done Math, is scheduled for April 5th at the Hugh Campbell Primary School. Well, the spouse of a local senator doing her part to meet the needs within her community, Patrice Russell, wife of Senator Kirk Russell and founder of Daughters of Purpose, provided a hot meal for some 150 students at the Lewis Yard Primary School in Hunters. Russell said it was a privilege to sow into the lives of so many young people. She added that it was an overwhelming feeling to see the smiles on the faces of the students as they received their lunch. Daughters of Purpose was formed recently, and Russell said the organization has already conducted several community initiatives, including a massive feeding where hundreds of residents received a hot meal and other giveaways. She said her focus is on assisting those who are less fortunate as she seeks to impact as many lives within the Grand Bahama community as possible. And that does it for this portion of the news. Stay with us to check on sports. Up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. We have quite a few updates with sports right here in Grand Bahama with scores from Bimini basketball. But let's start this one off with volleyball action right here at the St. George's Gymnasium. The University of the Bahamas held volleyball trials for female prospects from Grand Bahama at the St. George's Gymnasium. Head coach Raymond Wilson tells us that Grand Bahama has produced some of the very top volleyball players in the country in recent years.
Every year we comes to Grand Bahama because we know that Grand Bahama normally is on par with regards to athletes. So we come here because we figure, apart from the Providence, that Grand Bahama is the next source of talents. So we're here on a recruitment drive, hoping that we can get a few players to increase the asset at University of the Bahamas.
Wilson says he was a little disappointed with the turnout this year, but adds that the 2 athletes that did show up for the trials displayed some good skill sets.
The 2 girls that came out, they were very skilled. They didn't need much training with regards to the basic skills of the sport. And we find that recently that is one of the major problems at the university. Kids are coming out of high school and they don't have the basic skills. So in me seeing them having the basic skills, it meant that somebody was doing some work with them. And so if they come to the university, then it's less time that the training program has to work with trying to teach them how to carry out the basic necessary skills.
Switching gears now, the Curfew Track and Field and Swim Championships is expected to take place during the Easter weekend in Jamaica and Barbados, respectively. The sports unit in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture is stepping up once again to assist those teams as they represent the 242.
When these teams will be going, the Curfew Swim team, along with the track team, whenever they make their voyages to these particular events, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture over the years, and even no exception this year, according to the director, will be helping to ensure that the Bahamian athletes get to the Curfew Swim Championships, along with making sure that they arrive in Kingston, Jamaica for the Curfew Games that will be held down there this year.
And finally in sports, scores and highlights from the Bimini Youth Basketball League at the Gateway School Gymnasium. In senior boys play, the Bimini Marlins defeated the Eagles 57-32 to win that series 5-3. Leading the way for the Marlins was Derek Francis with 14 points. Paulson Stewart was the high point man for the Eagles with 19 points in the loss. Now, a girls division was recently added to the league. Gateway Eagles got the win over the Marlins 15-18. Nevaeh Sanders gave the Marlins the business as she scored 7 points in a winning effort. For the Marlins, Jaliyah Rose scored all 8 points for her team in the loss. That's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Are you ready to step out with designer shoes or handbags? Visit Steppin' Out. They've relocated at number 4 Old Sam's Plaza. Stepping out when you want to put your best foot forward.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
At Pizza Hut, we believe in pizza and good deals. Enjoy 2 large one-topping pizzas for only $24.65, VAT inclusive. Call us downtown at 352-9191 or East Sunrise Highway, 373-8500 to order your 2 delicious Pizza Hut pizzas with your favorite toppings. Available for dine-in, carry-out, and delivery. Order 2 large one-topping pizzas at Pizza Hut Freeport today.
It's Sushi Thursdays at Off the Deep Edge Restaurant. Enjoy various sushi rolls or sashimi. Happy hour from 5 to 7 p.m., including wine and drink specials. That's at Off the Deep Edge Restaurant. Shape Your Crepe is online. Download the app from the Apple or Google Play Store and receive $5 off your first online order. Call 688-4273 for more information. Alive brings to you the iPhone 12 64 gigs for $249 when you switch to Alive Postpaid. Alive, believe, invest.
Hey, I'm D'Amico Nesbitt and welcome to Health Bites, where each and every week we give you a helpful tip to help you on your health and fitness journey. Today we're going to talk about the importance of drinking water. Your body is made about 60% of water, so it's very vital for your body to function effectively. I'm going to give you quickly 3 of the main benefits of drinking water. One benefit is that it helps to remove toxins and flush toxins out of the body and keep your body regular. That means you go to the bathroom on time. So sometimes you might get constipated, maybe because you're not drinking enough water to help flush those toxins out. And that can help prevent symptoms such as being irritable, having bad skin, and so on. A second benefit of drinking a lot of water, it helps to prevent pain, and that could be pain from things like kidney stones or everyday headaches. Sometimes when you're dehydrated, you get headaches. Of course, if you don't drink enough water, you can get kidney stones, which are very painful. The third benefit is that water can help aid with your weight loss goals. So, water, sometimes you can confuse hunger with thirst. So a good way to prevent that is to make sure that your water intake is high. And also, drinking water as opposed to drinking sugary drinks such as, juices and sodas and so on will help to keep your calorie intake down and help you along with your weight loss goals. We have these nifty water bottles here at the Fitness Connection that can help you stay on track with your water drinking for the day. So come over and check us out. And thank you for tuning in. See you next week.
We want to get right to Hurricane Dorian, Category 5 storm hitting the Bahamas, heading for the southeast.
Hurricanes are so unpredictable. After Dorian, we have learned a lot. Enough to know what we need to do to be prepared before, during, and after the storm. Calling all residents of West Grand Bahama. The West Grand Bahama District Disaster Committee will be hosting a volunteer drive on Sunday, March 27th at 4 p.m. at the 8 Mile Rock High School gym. See you there. Let's be our brother's keeper.
One of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes in recorded history.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Rudy Bethel, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We appreciate your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. We invite you to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
As long as we've been a country, these islands have been a favorite for royalty. And for as long as the royals have adored us as a people, we've always been hospitable and gracious hosts. From a colony to a nation, now on the cusp of its golden anniversary, these shores have celebrated royal visits with class and dignity that is wholly Bahamian. As Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth celebrates her platinum anniversary on the throne, the islands of the Bahamas welcomes the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge on this, their first visit to the country. Our coverage starts Thursday, March 24th at 4 p.m. and continues through their departure Saturday, March 26th. The ZNS Network, your home for the royal visit. William and Kate.
Watch Conversations with Christ every Sunday at 10 a.m. And I'll tell you why. Because God said 1,000 years is like a day for me. And that's why you could have a thief on the cross pray for just a few seconds and get forever, and get forgiveness, and get eternity. So every single Sunday for 30 minutes, we're going to praise God together. So every Sunday at 10 a.m., Conversations with Christ.
The ZNS community page now has its own home on Channel 230. Be sure to tune into this channel to see informative notices, funeral announcements, birthday greetings, and much, much more. So watch the ZNS community channel today on Cable 230.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763.
There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to march down some lobster, yeah?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys waiter today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been jonesing for some grouper dread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work. Where the fish gone, though?
But how, though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
Andros is the #1 bone fishing destination on our planet. Sports fishermen visit our flats every year to participate in one of the most fulfilling outdoor activities known to man, fly fishing. And guess what? It's 100% sustainable. Without areas like the west side of Andros, sustaining this industry would be absolutely impossible. So let's take care of nature, and nature will take care of us.
Ordinary People is back with a new season. Join us on the ZNS Network.
Anybody drugs or more?
Not New York's bestsellers, the hood bestseller.
I like that. Coming soon.
People are only going to say yes or no. And if they say no, keep on trying until you get a yes.
Ordinary People.
Making news tonight.
News as it happens.
We're coming to you live from the intersection of Hospital Lane and John Close.
News that's important to you.
New upgrades like these solar panels in Abaco.
A contingency plan has been implemented to mitigate against any delays.
With a dedicated team.
This state-of-the-art building has 4 floors.
Working for you. The Bahamas Tonight, weeknights at 7 on the ZNS Television Network.
I want y'all to picture your parents them over there watching you.
You want gangbang?
It's back.
You're here because your parents decided to put you in here.
The groundbreaking reality series returns.
You never met me before? You Louisiana hit me?
Do you know it's still time to get it together?
With Nep. You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, a royal touchdown. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge arrives in the Bahamas. Is the Bahamas considering becoming a republic? Another health upgrade for the Bahamas. And Buddy faces former team for the first time since his trade. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for joining us. The royals are here. Britain's Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Prince William and Princess Catherine, landed at the Lyndon Pinley International Airport this afternoon, the final leg of their week-long Caribbean tour celebrating Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee. The royals have a busy itinerary over the next 2 days, immersing themselves in local culture, education, and history. Keishla Adderley leads us off tonight on the royals' arrival.
A royal reception starting on a high note.
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, their Royal Highnesses William and Kate, arriving in Nassau, observing many firsts. Their first official visit to the Bahamas, their first official visit overseas since the COVID-19 pandemic, and the celebration of a platinum anniversary for Queen Elizabeth II, who becomes the first British monarch to observe that milestone. The Royal Bahamas Police Force and Defense Force, sharp and precise, as Prince William inspects the guard, stopping to chat with officers. It was also a special day for the youngest member of the receiving party, little Amai Moss, who presented the Duchess with a bouquet of flowers before the two exchanged pleasantries.
That my dress is beautiful.
Are you going to forget this?
No.
I don't think you'll forget this one.
No, I won't.
The royals will remain in the Bahamas until Saturday, attending a special ceremony for the students of the Bahamas, also participating in a cultural display on Bay Street. They're a world away from their home in the UK and Queen Elizabeth II, who becomes the first British monarch to serve for 70 years on the throne. Reporting from the Lyndon Pinling International Airport for the royal visit of William and Kate, I'm Kishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Well, Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis letting us in on his conversation with the royals during a courtesy call at his Cable Beach office this afternoon. Davis telling the media that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are really looking forward to their stay here, even going as far as to lament the fact that they have little time in the Bahamas. As expected, discussion centered on matters of mutual interest, namely climate change and carbon credits. Before leaving, the royals also shared a moment with spouse of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis. Well, the Royals' Caribbean tour coming just months after Barbados parted ways with the Queen, and Jamaica announcing just this week plans to follow suit. While by no means a novel idea locally, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell acknowledges all the talk about the Bahamas moving to a republic is still relevant today as it was many years back.
And the big argument when I was in high school was, do you really think the Bahamas can be an independent country? Some said yes, some said no. And now 50 years, it's all academic. These younger people don't even think of it as an argument. So now the next point is, should you still have the monarchy? And what the visit has brought is that issue to the fore. But still, there isn't, it doesn't excite the generation the way independence excited us. I mean, it's just a throw-off argument. But, you know, really, nobody's quite enthralled by the argument of fighting for it.
Well, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge will be chauffeured around the capital in an electric vehicle. Easy Car Sales says the gesture reflects the country's commitment to cleaner, more sustainable transportation. This isn't the first time the royal couple will ride a climate-conscious car. After their 2011 wedding, Prince William and Catherine drove off from Buckingham Palace in Prince Charles's 51-year-old Aston Martin, a gift from the Queen for his 21st birthday in 1969, which had been converted to run on biofuels, swapping out petrol for a renewable energy source. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge arrived at the first Earthshot Prize Award ceremony in a fully electric vehicle last year as well. Well, just a reminder about the road closures and traffic diversions for tomorrow's royal activities. Again, Bay Street between Charlotte and East Streets, Parliament Street between East Hill and Bay Streets, and Bank Lane between Shirley and Bay Streets will be closed to vehicular traffic. There will be no parking available between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Bay and Parliament Streets on Friday. Between 5 a.m. and 1 p.m., traffic traveling east on Bay Street will be diverted north on Navy Line Road, east on the Wharf to East Street, south on Frederick Street, and on Bank Lane. And remember, you can watch our live coverage of the royal visit. We have a 1-hour special of the morning edition live from Rawson Square at 7 tomorrow morning. The royals will also visit the Sybil Strawn Primary School on Friday at 9 a.m. They will stop at the Garden of Remembrance and participate in a regatta at Montague before ending the evening with a reception in their honor at the Bahama Resort. All of these events will be carried live on the ZNS network. Well, the royal visit brings back memories for the many Bahamians who witnessed the official visit of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II nearly 4 decades ago. Anthony Smith takes us on a quick trip down memory lane.
The year was 1977, almost 45 years ago in this exact same location when a then 10-year-old East Street girl became a part of history.
I was the little girl who gave her the bouquet at the opening of Sadness.
Now 53, it's a moment Clarice Miller-Knowles remembers fondly. The moment her name was etched into the annals of Bahamian history, the moment Clarice met the Queen.
Little Clarissa having her big day and her big moment.
My dress was specially ordered for such a day as that, along with gloves and everything else. But I was told never to turn my back in my presentation on the Queen. So upon giving her, and I was nervous, I must say I was nervous, giving her this large bouquet, which was almost as big as me and everything else, I began to walk back, or proceeded to walk back. And in walking back, I almost fell. But Sir Lyndon himself caught me. I'll never forget that.
It may have been the Queen's Silver Jubilee, but in that moment, Clarice felt like royalty, the daughter of a then ZNS employee chosen by chance, whose big moment on stage paled in comparison to an audience with the Queen.
I asked her, I said, what are you going to do with my photo? You know, I just curious as a little girl. And she's like, everywhere I go in the world and I receive something, I would take it back to England, I would put it in a museum, I think that's what they call it. And she said, your picture would be in the museum. I went to London to visit, went to the palace, but I never got a chance to get into that museum.
But now, with another royal visit days away, for Clarice, it almost feels like a full circle moment.
It was a momentous era in my life.
About the idea of receiving this bouquet.
I'm hoping that one day that I am able, if not me, my children or my grandchildren, are able to see that portrait of me, that little girl from Nassau, Bahamas, over East Street to Earl O'Connor, was able to give the Queen the bouquet at the opening of said nest.
A moment forever immortalized. Anthony Smith, ZNS Network News.
Well, still to come, the COVID-19 death toll climbs a notch. And the Prime Minister applauds the country's world's indoor champions. We'll be back after the break.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them.
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
What makes an icon? Is it 80 years in the business? Or inventing a recipe that changes the way we enjoy chicken around the world? No. What makes an icon are the fans. Order KFC and take home a true mealtime icon.
Bahamas. Fly away.
Portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
Another big win for the Bahamas on the health front. The Atlanta-based Centers for Disease Control has again upgraded the country's COVID-19 travel risk advisory to level 2 or moderate rating. And this exactly 2 weeks after we dropped from 4 to 3. Level 2 advises international travelers to be up to date with their COVID-19 vaccines before traveling, and that unvaccinated travelers who are at risk for severe illness from COVID should avoid non-essential travel. Now, Health and Wellness Minister, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, again stressed that compliance is key to attaining this type of success. The Bahamas has made free testing available for anyone who wishes to know their COVID-19 status. Meantime, officials continue to stress that vaccination remains the scientifically proven best way of protection. Well, you may have been among the many who watched several social media videos of spring breakers partying in New Providence and Bimini. Noting the lack of adherence to COVID-19 protocols, the Health and Wellness Minister insists health officials fear this behavior could spark another surge in COVID-19 cases.
We're always concerned when there's any deviation from the rules. We've made it clear in our recent rules that in hotels we expect the hoteliers to enforce our rules. And out in the open, we removed the mask mandate as long as certain protocols are in place. Everyone must be responsible as it relates to the rules. In being responsible, we can actually open more sectors of the economy, but they need to be held accountable for the rules. And if it is happening, we advise them to enforce the rules as clearly outlined by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Minister Darville also revealing that organizers of the Dexter Daps and Shenseea concerts previously denied approval have reportedly been given the green light. Now, while he couldn't officially confirm as much, Dr. Darville maintains there has been a significant number of people seeking approval for large events.
It's open to the general public because we want that sector of the economy to start moving. There is a lot of people there. People who are involved in this sector of the economy who need to get back to work. And we're here. We've relaxed the rules, but for events, we want to make it clear that it's a case-by-case basis and you have to apply to the EOC.
In related news, the Bahamas has added another death to its COVID toll after a 73-year-old Grand Bahama woman succumbed to the virus on March 7th. The now 788th such victim. Another 35 deaths remain under investigation. This while hospitalizations are at 6. Again, just one person on the intensive care unit. Meantime, 4 recently tested positive for the virus, 3 of them on New Providence, the other on Grand Bahama. The March 23rd COVID dashboard also showing a total of 2 recoveries and the completion of 220 RT-PCR tests. Well, the race may be over, but the congratulations keep pouring into silver medalist Devin Charlton and gold medalist Shawnee Miller-Rebo. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, in the House of Assembly yesterday hailed the pair as world champions. The women were, at the time, in the gallery, fresh off competition at the World Indoor Classic in Belgrade, Serbia.
And it tells us this little rock on which we live, called the Bahamas, that we need to, think about the pride and the inspiration that we as a nation embraced when we saw little Charlton going across those bars in the 60 meters and to come second. I mean, right there saying, come first. But she came second, beating the world. And of course, Shawnee in the 400. That tells us who we are and who we could be. Yes.
The Prime Minister referenced the importance of national honors and celebrating those who represent the country.
Worldwide, we should be hearing the most honorable Shawnee Miller receiving the gold medal.
Yes, yes.
And then what do? We are lifting up our honors. And so we don't have to just continually give but the honors that we would have inherited. Yes, it is past, it's part of our history. It is. But sometimes the historical weight that infects and influences the mind and goes to our ethos may be required to be shed so that we could free that mind to ensure we recognize who we are.
Well, during debate on the National Honors Amendment Bill, Public Service Minister, the Honourable Fred Mitchell, outlined the importance of the National Honors System.
We did not abolish the British honors, but allowed the system to remain in parallel, and instead made a policy decision that we would not, except for the level of Governor General, Chief Justice, confer any of these honors, and also knighthoods generally. But apart from that, the local honors were supposed to replace the British honors.
Meantime, the Member of Parliament from Marco City, Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard, making some observations of his own about the proposed legislation.
It is ironic that we are having this discussion against the, in a sense, against the backdrop or at a time when the royals are visiting the Bahamas, and the opposition is absolutely clear that this is a national event, and we certainly intend in various ways to participate, but it's not lost on us. It's not lost on us that the monarchy, in this case, that's visiting the Bahamas, and other monarchies continue to make the case for the perpetuation of their particular family and what their family represents. And the Bahamas, as a country, has to act in its own interests as well.
And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZMS Network.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
We all know how good food makes us feel. It's like the feeling you get on bay. And at Popeyes, we give you that feeling because we know how to make good food. Our food is the food of joy and the joy of being alive despite hard times. We don't do boring or bland. We are proud and big-hearted and love sharing with you, our fans. We take pride in sharing. We always do it with love. And that's the Popeyes difference that you can taste in every bite.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
You're always on the go. We know life can be a daily rush. CIBC, First Caribbean, you can count on us. We make life easier. Manage your accounts at any time. Apply for a loan. It's easy when you bank online. We make life easier with choices that suit you. CIBC, First Caribbean.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
What would I like people to know about women in leadership is that women being in leadership does not deny an opportunity to a man to be in leadership. We can all be in leadership together. And in fact, leadership makes its most effective decisions when it's getting those different viewpoints from all segments of society. My advice would be to young women to never rest on your laurels. Always be thinking about what is the next thing that you can do or need to learn.
Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson pleased about the possibility of police officers returning to school campuses. She believes it will add another layer of protection for teachers and students. It's also a move she claims the union has been advocating for some time.
Let me be clear though. The police will not take the place of the principal or the teachers or the disciplinarians in the schools, but the police will work closely with administration and teachers and the guidance counselors to ensure safety on our campuses. The intelligence, in my view, that the police will gather not only from within the school campus, but also in the community, could prove very beneficial in the prevention of crimes and violence on school campuses.
The BUT president also commenting on Wednesday's stabbing at the A.F. Adderley Junior High School. As we've previously reported, 2 students are assisting police in the investigation, but for Wilson, school violence remains a challenge.
We are losing too many of our youths to violence and crime. Teachers at A.F. Adderley Junior High School, they're very concerned about their safety. So today, they are sitting in and they will prepare a document for the administration and for the Ministry of Education.
On a more positive note, weeks of painting, decorating, and planting various trees has led LW Young Junior High School students to create a reading garden of its own. Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, was on hand for the special opening ceremony. Meantime, Member of Parliament for Fox Hill, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, reminded the youngsters that reading is fundamental.
It is still a profound adventure for me to pick up a book and read. It improves your knowledge of the world, improves your vocabulary and your social sense of being. Because after all, we're social creatures. That is one of the difficulties of the pandemic. We had to spend too much time locked away from other people. So now that we have this opportunity again, I encourage you to read.
9th grader Shamar Nottage, one of the many LW Young students with a book reading target before the year's end. He believes this new reading garden will exceed those expectations.
As a student body,
I believe that each student has the right to access knowledge and books to improve their vocabulary. And sometimes you may not get that in a traditional classroom. Sometimes you need to read a book and just sit down and be by yourself and think about the book.
Former Cabinet Minister Shane Gibson reaching a $2.5 million settlement with the government that covers legal fees and damage for malicious prosecution. Back in 2019, Gibson was acquitted of 15 counts of bribery. He was accused of receiving some $280,000 from contractor Jonathan Ash in exchange for approving payments totaling $1 million for work done following the cleanup effort in the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew back in 2016. Now, at the time, Gibson was responsible for the massive cleanup effort following that major storm. Atlantis employees set to take home a little extra starting next month. The resort's president and managing director, Audrey Oswell, announcing that workers will receive a 3% across-the-board pay raise effective April 25th. Meantime, non-unionized workers will receive a performance-based pay raise ranging from 0 to 5%. In other news, Nassau cruise port officials preparing to enter another phase of the refurbishment and expansion exercise in the Prince George Dock by increasing its staff complement. Carla Palmer tells us about their new partnership with the Department of Labor.
Reconstruction of new docking facilities at Prince George Wharf downtown Nassau is continuing in earnest by the construction company Encore. It's a two-phased, fast-tracked project which now requires additional Bahamian skilled laborers. And they're hoping to fill that void with a job fair scheduled for this coming Saturday between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. at the Department of Labor. Director of Labor Robert Farquharson embraces the partnership towards job creation.
Inviting members of the public, particularly those that work in the construction industry, to come out to the job fair and take advantage of these employment opportunities.
Human Resources and Administration Project Manager Onur Osman acknowledges the need for more workers as the project progresses into its second phase.
For the job fair, we are expecting to hire more than 100 Bahamians with different disciplines: electricians, plumbers, paramedics, architects, engineers, and so we have many opportunities.
Farquharson explains that the partnership is not limited to Nassau Cruise Port. Representatives from the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute and the national training agencies will also be a part of Saturday's job fair.
Those two government entities have significant training opportunities and certification opportunities for Bahamians in the construction industry.
Assistant Director of Public Employment Services, Simone Thurston, is encouraging job seekers to come prepared.
Bring a resume, reference letters, NIB card, your passport, and any other supporting documents, such as certification.
Currently, more than 400 workers are employed by Nassau Cruise Port Development Company, with Bahamians accounting for some 70%.
And with the support of the Department of Labor and other institutes, we are willing to increase it up to 80% minimum.
The refurbishment and expansion of this Nassau Cruise Port project is worth an estimated $210 million. It's scheduled to be completed in the fall of 2023. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
And as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Almost every journey starts with your car. We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy, or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID, all you really need and more.
is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
With sailboats set to hit the water for regattas, officials of one of the more popular venues, Georgetown Exuma, went on a walkabout to gauge the preparedness of business owners there. Island Administrator Christian Palacios, police officer, and officials from the Ministry of Works and Local Government among those moving about the city center today. Exuma's regatta is set for April 21st through the 23rd.
Many businesses would have expressed their concerns as well as suggestions about the improvement of the downtown area in Georgetown. One of the major concerns we would have heard was the proper disposal of garbage in the area. This is something we're looking at, and we're aggressively approaching the cleanup of the downtown area in preparation for regatta, but we're also looking at issues and concerns to improve the overall downtown area and moving more towards the revitalization of the Georgetown area.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. We are under partly cloudy skies at this hour. The temperature 81 degrees, relative humidity at 74%. We have the winds out of the south at 15 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,015.3 millibars. That is 30.00 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Toll Key, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco, the Berry Islands at 78. Allenstown, Bimini, 80 degrees, 79 in Harbor Island. Rocktown, Eleuthera, 81 degrees. Black Point, Exuma, and Camp Space, St. Andrews at 80 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andrews, 79, 81 in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, 81s again in Rygat Island, Clarence, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Matthewtown, Inagua, 82, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. For the Northwestern Islands tonight, southerly winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. Got low tide. That will take place at 7:35 this evening. Now for the central and southeastern islands, expect southeast winds at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights also 3 to 6 feet, so caution flags are in place throughout the 700 islands tonight. And then tomorrow in the northwestern islands, the winds become south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots. This is just ahead of a cold front which will move into the area tomorrow. Behind that front, those winds will swing out of the northwest and increase in speeds. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet, building 4 to 6 feet behind the front. Low tide 8:45 tomorrow morning with a high tide at 2:34 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands on Friday, southeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And as we head into Saturday, the winds become northerly at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4. Low tide 9:55 in the morning, high tide 3:47 in the afternoon. For the central islands, the winds are going to be southwest to west at 10 to 15, wave heights 2 to 4. And in the southeast Bahamas on Saturday, light and variable winds with flat seas 1 to 3 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here. I believed in Tokyo, the belief that I could be, we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Tony Miller-Weibo is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
When you testify in court, you're expected to tell the truth. Same goes for your insurance application form. You have to answer every question truthfully and provide all the information requested, or you could be found guilty of misrepresentation. That means your insurance company could deny your policy or refuse to pay your claim. Your insurance company relies on the information you provide to determine whether to issue you a policy. Leaving out just one piece of information could lead to misrepresentation. So read your application form carefully. If you're unsure about anything, ask your insurance agent or broker before completing and signing your insurance application form. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
We elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate.
We've come together once again to mark the occasion of International Women's Day. It's a week that we've stacked with activities, including a conclave with panel discussions featuring some incredible speakers. And while we enjoy celebrating the successes of women everywhere, we also pause to recognize that the struggle towards gender equality is both real and ongoing.
I thought that today was absolutely amazing, considering that it was International Women's Day, and we did it right. We did a week of events, from the health and wellness seminar that occurred, of course, to our activities that was done by Liberty Latin America, our parent company, and more importantly, today's celebration, the panel. Everything hit home today. It was a full collection of speakers that spoke to issues that each woman would have faced at some point in their life, and if they themselves have not faced it, it would have been somebody that they know. My one word to every woman that is in our business, and whichever woman is listening to this, is that they must stand together with each other, as we as men also stand as allies in their work towards the removal and the eradication of discrimination.
We have so many talented females across the business. We have so many successful women, not just in the workforce, but also in their personal lives. And, you know, especially coming out of the pandemic, I've seen the way that our women can multitask. And so for me, International Women's Day is just celebrating our excellent women across the company.
So let's make it all of our business to help to break the bias. To women everywhere, we say Happy International Women's Day. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corval Pyfrom. Be well and be back here next. BTC Connection.
This segment of the news is presented by Sands, the truly Bahamian beer.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sports Thursday. I'm Charles Fisher. Well, our Royals from the World Indoor Track Championships touchdown in the capital on Wednesday. Amajal Knowles was among those there to greet them at the Lyndon Pinling International Airport.
Celebration fit for royalty took place where two of the country's best athletes, as World Indoor Championship medalists Shawnee Miller-Weibo and Devin Charlton, were welcomed home in grand style for the Junkanoo Rush-Out celebration at the Thomas Robinson National Stadium, along with family, friends, and supporters on hand. To welcome them was the country's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Tourism, Investments, and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper.
Sports tourism being a big component of what we do. I believe we even talked about sports in paradise, which I believe was the mantra of a previous sports minister. As you would know, we've been inviting many different types of sporting events to our shores, and we find these to be a great draw for tourism to our country. So sports is a key component of the touristic offering. We have engaged many sports ambassadors to work along with tourism to attract new events to our country.
Also on hand to receive the pair was the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, who reiterated his ministry's commitment on ensuring our athletes have as much support as necessary.
Don't get scared now, because one thing I want to do as the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture is make sure that we show appreciation to our athletes. You know, I know what it is to be down there with the federations and preparing these athletes to go represent the country and struggling to get these athletes out of the country. They're representing us, we as a Bahamian. So I could assure this country that myself, along with the leader of the country, the Honorable Prime Minister, we take sports very seriously. And you will see that as time goes on. We're going to invest whatever we have to invest in our athletes to ensure that this country is represented well in all disciplines.
And for the women of the hour, after representing the Bahamas on such a big stage, they both thank family as well as the country at large for their overwhelming support.
Make sure that you make it clear that you're the best in this event, and I want you to get all the titles that you can possibly get. And she wanted me to go after the World Indoor title. And at first, I was like, I don't know, I'm not a fan of indoors, but, once Mommy asked, there was the no-brainer with that. So, Mommy, that one was for you, obviously. I love and appreciate my parents, and Ms. Charlton and Mr. Charlton, congratulations again. I think a lot of people don't quite understand the effort that the parents go to make sure that us athletes achieve our goals and actually get to live out our dreams. So
my first round was, I think, 4 a.m. in the morning, Nassau time, and I know a lot of people were up early tuning in, and also during the day to see my second rounds, and I could feel that support even on the other side of the world, across oceans, and just want to say thank you for giving me something to work towards.
Buddy Hield welcoming his former team, the Sacramento Kings, to Indiana last night, and this game went right down to the final seconds as the Pacers and Buddy come up short on a last-second tip-in to lose 110-109. Buddy an efficient 10 for 18, shooting from the field, 5 for 8 from behind the three-point arc, to finish with a game-high 25 points and 7 assists, but it was a loss.
I'm proud of myself. I was doing a lot of things I was able to do over there in Sacramento. Make plays with my teammates. Rick has trusted me a lot to do more, and something I wanted to do. And Sacramento didn't let me do it. I was just a guy to just stand in the corner and just catch and shoot. So make the change is great for me. I'm happy to change. And I'm happy the way I play, happy the way my basketball's going. I'm more freed up and I'm more peace of myself. Now I can play basketball again.
No love lost between Buddy and his former teammates.
Catch up last night. I think we all in the dinner. Those guys are great guys down there. They know that I was over there for a long time. The time to change the scenery. And those guys are still my friends. We went to war together. We didn't accomplish what we wanted to accomplish, but change was definitely need to happen. And we don't hold no grudges against each other. You can see that we talk and we still chat with each other. There's nothing against each other. So fun group to be around, man. They're great group of guys. We just didn't figure it out.
Also from last night, DeAndre Ayton with a career-high 35 points to go along with 14 rebounds, lifting the league-leading Phoenix Suns past the Minnesota Timberwolves, 125-116 game ball in hand.
Since day one, D-Book's been on my tail to be aggressive on the offensive end as well. Just being that threat and telling me the things that I'm capable of doing. You see it in me. He's always had confidence in me. And, so does all the other guys on my team and the coaches. So, when they really give me the green light to really dominate like that, and it's really every night they give me the green light, I just got to always be ready and just be consistent with it. Yeah.
And that's going to put a cap on Sports Thursday. Thanks for watching, everybody.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training hosted its second curriculum launch. In attendance was the Director of Education, Marcellus Taylor, who pointed out that a continuous revision of the school's curriculum is key to ensuring all students are provided with a 21st century quality education.
It is indeed a red letter day, and it is such because we are here to celebrate and also to launch 10 new curricular guides. As I tell my colleagues or remind my colleagues all the time, the national curriculum is the second most important policy document in an education system, second only to the Education Act, because the national curriculum determines what it is that students will know by the time they exit an education system. And that is important because the whole role of education is to ensure that we develop the kinds of citizens who can not only self-actualize and be the individuals that they wish to be and that they ought to be, but also that we prepare people to lead the national development efforts. And we all live in the Bahamas, and we know that our country is a young country, and there are many things that we need to do in order to make our country the country that it ought to be. And so in 1982, there was a big effort to launch the establishment of national curriculum and the development of national curricular guides. And that effort was a great effort, and in fact, it is the platform upon which we build.
This is Denise Pratt, Fair Talk.
My Gateway is the centralized, safe, secure way to access and pay for government services online. Go to mygateway.gov.bs. Click Login. Register with a government-issued ID like your NIB card. Fill in your personal information exactly as it appears on your ID, including spaces, periods, and dashes. You'll only have to sign up once. Now you're ready to request services on My Gateway. Receive an email confirmation for every request and email alerts when your documents are ready. You must have a valid, government-issued ID in order to collect documents. New services will be added every month. My Gateway is fast, easy, and convenient. For more information, visit mygateway.gov.bs.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs Clay Sweeting will lead a delegation to the Food and Agriculture Organization's 37th Annual Regional Conference for the Latin Americas and the Caribbean in Ecuador.
We'll have representatives from the ministry for 2 days that will meet and discuss with other ministries across the Caribbean and Latin America, and then another 2 days where the ministers would discuss. These would be closed sessions. And I expect the main topics to be about agri-food systems and how we can, as a sector and as a conglomerate, come together to meet the demand for food security throughout the world.
According to Sweeting, the Ministry of Agriculture has enjoyed a long-standing relationship with FAO, which has proven beneficial even in the event of times of disaster.
So we've had discussions on how we can work together to grow the agricultural sector. They've also helped to contribute to assisting hurricane victims in Grand Bahama and Abaco in the marine sector on how to replenish their fish pots so that they can get back on their feet again. And we want to thank them for that.
The fight for food security calls for all hands on deck, according to Sweeting, who says he is excited for the future plans that are on the table with FAO.
We're working along with FAO with a strategic framework from 2022 to 2031, which the agenda for 2030 would be to transform the food sector. They're playing a pivotal role in doing this, and we look forward to working with them. We're putting together a strategic plan with them as well, and they're working on with other countries because that's how we can really beat this food insecurity that we seem to all be facing.
The minister and his delegation are set to leave for the 4-day conference Sunday, March 27th. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Georgie O'Bain.
What would I like people to know about women in leadership is that women being in leadership does not deny an opportunity to a man to be in leadership. We can all be in leadership together. And in fact, leadership makes its most effective decisions when it's getting those different viewpoints from all segments of society. My advice would be to young women to never rest on your laurels. Always be thinking about what is the next thing that you can do or need to learn.
Saving money is easy this week. Just shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Riceland long grain or parboiled rice, 5 pounds, $3.75. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15 ounce, 2 for $2.19. Mott's apple juice, 1 gallon, $6.99. Sweet mangoes, 2 for $3. Bone-in chicken breasts, $1.99 per pound. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
If you like a hearty, meaty burger, the A1 Steakhouse King at Burger King Nassau has it all. With flame-grilled beef, lots of bacon, cheese, and crispy onions on a sesame seed bun, the only thing that can top this is the tangy flavor of A1 steak sauce. The Steakhouse King is a meat lover's dream, and with an ice-cold Pepsi and hot fries, it's all you need to fill your day. Get your A1 Steakhouse King as a combo or part of the new King's Feast, only at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married?
Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service
in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with our mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, satellite pictures showing that area of high pressure that was anchored across the Bahamas now sliding towards the east, and that will cause a relaxation in the winds over the next few hours to allow a frontal system to push through. If you look over central Florida, there's lots of moisture associated with that front that will continue to move towards the south and east. We expect the leading edge of those rain showers to move into the extreme northwest Bahamas late tonight and during the early morning hours, and they will eventually get here into the capital sometime by late morning, early afternoon. So if you're up and about tomorrow, make sure to take your rain gears with you to keep yourself straight from these stray showers. Some of these showers, by the way, are going to be heavy at times, particularly during the early afternoon hours. Tonight, we're looking at mostly cloudy, warm, and humid with a isolated thunderstorm very possible. 73 degrees is the expected low temperature. And tomorrow, late morning showers, heavy at times, 81 degrees for your high. And the extended weather forecast, once we get away of those showers tomorrow, which is Friday, things will start improving quite nicely on Saturday, which promised to be a pretty nice day with lots of sunshine. Temperatures are in the 80s during the daytime, low 80s, by the way, and then we'll get you into the 60s at nighttime, and that will last right into the middle part of next week. So some nice chilly temperatures shaping up for the weekend. Mikishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. And from all of us here at ZNS, have a wonderful evening.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
You are about to connect with people who are ready to bring you the most open, honest, and